Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chad. I'm a certified financial planner here in Canada, and today I need your help. Several months ago, I shot a video where I highlighted just how lopsided our tax system is between singles and couples in retirement. And I'll link that video in the description down below. But since posting that video, I was approached and I've now joined a group called the Single Seniors Tax Fairness Group. And our objective, our goal is to have an opportunity to get to the Finance Department of Canada and highlight some of these inequities between the tax system and hopefully bring some change to alleviate some of the tax pressure on single people. For me, my number one goal is to make a positive impact on as many Canadians' financial situation as possible. That's why I joined this group, because it's an opportunity for me to make exponential impact if something like this goes through. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to jump into just a few highlighted versions of what the actual problem is. I'll talk a little bit more about why, and then I'll give you 2 action items towards the end that you can do to help us move this case forward. Let's get into it. All right, so to highlight some of these issues, we've created this spreadsheet, and I will note this is based on 2022 numbers. I have not had an opportunity to update to the 2024 numbers yet, and at this point in December, I'm not going to bother. I'll do the 2025 numbers next year. But let's take a look at what we're actually seeing here. If you were taking, let's just highlight 50,000. If you were taking $50,000 of gross income as a couple, you'd be paying $1,172 in taxation back in 2022. Now, to be clear, this is for a couple that are both over the age of 65. The reason I'm making that specification is because over 65, you not only have the personal amount, you also have full income splitting depending on what you're taking at that point. You have the pension amount and you have the age credit. The age credit is an income tested non-refundable tax credit. A little bit more on that later, but this is for a couple or a single person over the age of 65. All right, so $50,000 of gross income, a couple pays just shy of $1,200 in tax. A single person pays $6,521 in taxation. It's an additional $5,350 in that year. $5,000 to me is a lot of money. Maybe to you, it isn't a ton of money or worth getting upset about, but imagine doing that every year of your retirement. 10 years, that's 50 grand. 20 years, it's 100,000 more in taxation. Not only that, that's money that a single person has to take out of the markets and lose compound interest power on. It's early withdrawals. Possibly it's a down market and they're over withdrawing because they're kind of at the mercy of our tax system. There's a whole myriad of compounding effects here. And it's very, very much a 2 + 2 = 4 type of thing. And since really diving into this and posting that video, I've started to compare the tax environments for a senior single versus a tax environment for a couple as a lush garden and a barren wasteland. And you can start to see that here. If we continue on, the clawback on the age amount, again, the age amount is an income tested amount. So the less ability you have to split income, because of course a couple has income splitability, the more you're going to be exposed to things like an income tested age amount. So an individual would have $1,500 of that credit taken away because they're making $50,000 at this point. Again, 2022 numbers, things have changed this year. For a couple, it's 0. For OAS, there's a threshold. In this case, it's 0 for both of them, but down the road at 100,000, it's again a difference between the two scenarios. Another thing I want to highlight on this chart is these two numbers here. For a $70,000 gross income for a single person, they're going to pay 13 grand in tax. For 100,000 for a couple, they're going to pay the same amount. It's like within $1 of taxation. I know these are rounded numbers, so it's within a couple of dollars, I'm sure. So it's $30,000 more of gross income to pay the same amount of taxation. So whether you're a single person or in a couple, I hope you can start to see that there is a problem here. And so as a group, again, SSTF, for Single Seniors Tax Fairness Group, we are not setting out to take tax credits away from couples. That is not the objective. The objective is to just highlight this and bring some fairness to the two sides of this coin, really. Now, what can you do to help? There's two things that I'm going to ask you to do. First is go to the link in the description down below, which goes to the SSTF website, and become a supporter of the cause. We are trying to get meetings with the Federal Finance Committee, and the more supporters we have signed up, the more weight we have to our claim. There is a donation section. I'm not asking you to do that. If you want to, obviously, great, all the better. I'm not asking that of you. And if you do sign up to be a supporter, there is, I think it's quarterly, if I remember correctly, updates. You don't even have to opt in for those. We just need to have a big number of supporters to have some weight to get a meeting. Thing number two you can do for me is share this video. The more supporters we have, the better. And in particular, if you know anybody that's in the federal government, in particular in the Finance Committee, share it with them. Share it with your MLA. Share it with people who can help us get to our goal, which is just a meeting at this point. The future goals will come later, but right now we just need to get a meeting with the federal government in the finance department. I know this video was a little bit of a departure from my normal financial planning focus, but this is the type of thing that impacts millions of Canadians. So I hope you found it interesting. I hope you went and added yourself to our supporter list. Till next time, keep planning.